Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Master Heart family, our spiritual family, where on Mondays we can just sit back, take a deep breath in and just relax and know that all is well and getting better for all of us. And it's just delightful having all of you here today. You're going to absolutely love what we're going to be doing today, as every Monday we do with our spiritual families. So welcome. And let's see a few announcements, if you will. We have people from all around the world on this, and to include Dua is in Jerusalem. So welcome, Dua. And we thank you for joining us, our spiritual family. We also, our family continues to grow. And Deborah Crystal had her little baby, Jaira. And that was on Tuesday. Yeah. And so Jaira, I've actually been with her since really conception and going through all of it, because, the babies can hear all the vibration and everything. And I meet with Deborah twice a week. And it's just glorious. But Deborah is healthy, baby is healthy. Deborah described the nursing as just unbelievable, and that oneness that she has with her little baby. And both mom and baby are healthy and at home. So that's good news. And then where home is their brand new home, and more dreams coming true for all of us. And so with that, so what's going on? What are some miracles? What's some good news to share with us? Who wants to begin and share some good news? Joey, I'm going to start with you.
I kind of figured you might. I haven't been here with you guys recently because of a lot of travel and things like that and stuff, but it's really, I've learned that the pathway, it's for me, it's never been like this. It's kind of like this, and then it goes down a little and it goes up higher, and what's cool, what's really neat is I used to let those downward strokes bring me further down than they needed to, where now, and Dr. Hank, you're a huge help in this, is I can have one of those and it doesn't have to take everything to the bottom. It can just be one area and stuff. And I spent the weekend, this spiritual weekend, this weekend, just hearing more and more and more. All weekend was about like exactly what we talk about. Just, ask, get excited about it, build it, and then just allow it to show up, and I've been doing a lot of things with repatterning, conditioning, and things like that to understand what stops me from allowing, because that's really the only thing that I have found that blocks any of it is my allowing. And so as I see that, and as I see my stories, and as I see where I've built that up, as much as I've wanted to increase my finances and the revenue and all that so that I can have a bigger footprint in the works that I do and a bigger impact with the works that I do, I've been really afraid to let that grow, because whenever I've experienced that, it's come with a lot of hard work. It's come with a lot of a miserable life and everything else. And so the programming was always that I have to wreck my life to have money. And I didn't want to live that way, and that's why I saw my business kind of go up and then start coming back down and then go, but I could never get past that certain point. And now that I understand that, it's like the doors are just opening and so many things are happening, where I'm allowing. And allowing for me is really big, where I get out of the Antichrist up here.
Yeah.
And I get into here. Yeah. And I'm doing what I love to do Saturday, and somebody schedules a session with me as a new client. Today, I get up and say, okay, I feel like taking action. I don't know what the action is, but I feel like doing something. And I came in the office. As soon as I walked in the office, somebody had scheduled a call with me for this afternoon, another client. And when I try to go from here and figure out how do I get more clients, it just blocks the whole avenue, because I can't allow and make happen at the same time. And that's such a tough freaking lesson to learn. But in learning it, I think we should skip the song altogether at the end today, just because of a different type of celebration, maybe.
Joey, you're just trying to get out of the damn song.
Oh, is it that apparent? So yeah, so that's what I got to share today. I'm really glad to be here.
Wow, that's just awesome. And we just love that you're with us and sharing that. And you shared so many good points. And so let me just kind of review that for all of us to really digest that. Pretty much, if you want to have your dreams come true, Joey just described it, and let me put a little bit more around that the first step for us to have anything that we want is we have to be asking for it. We have to think about it, about what we want. And the stumbling block for most of us in step one, we really only have to do two things. In step one, it's the first thing we have to ask, and then you shall receive. And this asking that we have our lower self, and we call that the committee. Joey just referred to it as the Antichrist. It's the only devil, really the only thing working against any of us is our own thoughts. And where those thoughts typically come from is we all bought in, agreed to that we would come here to this amazing world. And this world that has all the contrasts, all the things we don't want, and all the things we do want, and that we knew we had to bump up against this contrast, the no's, the arguments, the hard feelings, the work hard, all of these things we have to brush up against in order to birth what we do want. Where most people are is that they're in their pity party, always thinking about, hey, there's not enough, it's not getting, and that becomes your prayer. When you say, hey, I don't have enough money, guess what? You're praying for not enough money, and then you don't get enough money. And so one of the easy phrases to start saying to yourself is easy money, easy life. It's a program that I have, a book that I have that it's just, it's fantastic. It helps so many people as they start developing a relationship with money. And that's a whole nother topic on, money. But going back to these steps, so what are you thinking about? And again, you can't be thinking about your hurt elbow and expect to have better health. Okay, so let's not be looking at what's going on in our life, because all of science has proved that our thoughts start everything, and whatever we think creates this energy creates matter, M-A-T-T-E-R. That's why thoughts become things. And so what are you thinking? And so stop looking at what's in front of you. But we've all been taught, you got to face reality. Well, if you face reality, what's going to happen is you're just going to get more of whatever you're facing, if you will. The way to create reality is, so we're not going to face reality, we're going to create reality. And the way to do it is disregard what's going on and start thinking about what we want.
Can I say something about that?
Joey?
Yeah, if I could say something, because that was another key. Thank you, Dr. Hank, is and I'm just sharing this stuff because it's how I got it, and hopefully it'll help somebody else. But one of the things I found is the situations and circumstances that were showing up in my life, whether it was finances, whether it was lack of thought, whatever it is, I had to choose. Those are not my reality. That my vision is my reality, and I'm just going to keep living in that. Anything else that's not that, excuse my language, is bullshit. But that's going to be my reality, and I think that really was a big connection point for me. To if it's not in my vision, then put it down.
Wow.
So thank you for saying that, to hammer that in for me.
Yeah, that is powerful. And so, we were talking about, so our thoughts, what are you thinking about? And those thoughts create your energy, your emotion. And that emotion is actually the signal that goes to God. And so in step 3, God, your higher power, your inner being, whatever you want to call the universe, and we've been all brought up differently, and so we have different kind of definitions, but believe me, there is this non-physical, you can't see it, but there is a force that is conspiring on your behalf to give you everything that you want. And so when we have that prayer, so our thoughts create this energy, our feelings, and that feeling is a signal that goes to God, and God instantly receives your prayer and answers your prayer. Why all of our prayers, wanted or unwanted, are being answered. But we have to do step 4, and that's where Joey came in. And we have to allow it. You can't allow if you're thinking about what you don't like. Oh, I don't have enough money. You're disallowing more money to come in. And so, or whatever the topic is, but the topic reason they have me say money is a lot of the topic for a lot of you is about money. And that let's have money out front. Let's love money. And it's a beautiful divine energy that is there that God has given us to be able to do all kinds of things. And some people say, oh, but money doesn't create happiness. That's just using Joey's term, bullshit. That money does create happiness. It's not the only thing. There's all kinds of other things, but all kinds of gifts that God gives us. And, and if you think you're too materialistic, you're exactly right. Look down, you got this materialistic body and it needs food, and you got to get carted around and need a roof over your head, etc. So that's just beautiful. So it's the step 4 on allowing it, believing that there is this force that is supporting you, conspiring on your behalf to give you everything that you want. We just need to think about what we want and then allow the Father to do the work. We don't have to figure it out, like Joey was saying. He doesn't have to figure out. He was excited about doing inspired action, but he didn't force himself to have his committee think about inspired action. Instead, he knew it would show up, and it will show up for you if you will allow it. When you start using your committee, you start analyzing, you start comparing, you start identifying how you're going to do something, it's not your job. The how is God's job. Your job is simply to ask for what you want and then allow it in. So your either thoughts of that or other things to share. What other good news do we have? Thanks, Joey, for your inspiration, man. Appreciate you. Other good news? Carolyn, what are you doing? Oh, your mic's up. Your mic's up.
I'm sorry. This is a transducer. I'm adding electrical scalar energy into my body to correct my polarity.
Oh my God. Fantastic. Well, good for you. Good for you. So, I do kind of the same thing, but I just ask for it and then it comes.
that's probably a lot less expensive way to do it.
Is that 110 current or 220?
I've got a lot of different. This one right now is let's see. There's a lot of different currents. It's got like 40 different settings. I'm not sure which one. I'm on 783 harmonics is the actual current on it, but I don't know what the number is on that.
I'm sorry. I was just kidding.
Oh, you meant for the plug. Yeah, it actually is a current though. Sorry.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, and so everything is energy. The whole world is energy. And so that's, part of energy. And we use energy in any way that we want to. I remember Mike, has really been focused and he's driving right now, but and driving his daughter Mia to her job. So for her, she graduated and now has this amazing job and opportunity to live in the city and a new life. But really, this world is just so fantastic. But Mike draws from the Earth's energy, and so you can get all the energy that you want at whatever you want. And so that's beautiful. Other good news on people to share?
Yeah, I'm driving across Illinois and headed all the way to North Carolina.
Woo, doggies. Well, good for you, Mike. What's going on? What's the good news with you?
Man, I was just thinking about a lot of things that were just said. all the energy and everything that's positive. I can't even, now I've lost my whole train of thought.
Perfect.
Honestly. But I, you know what, here's the thing. I'm looking at drawing from the Earth's energy, right? We're all different. We're all unique. I look at every tree. Like, every tree's different.
Yeah.
There's not one tree that's unique, right?
Yeah.
Every tree is different, just like every person is different. And when you ground, the grounding has energy, and you can draw that. I've drawn that from in so many different ways. And here I am driving across the country because we birthed this opportunity for my daughter. And I apologize, I don't have my camera on, because here I am in a rental car. I'll get into this story. But we birthed this opportunity, right? Yeah. My daughter had, she did it on her own, but yet we gave her the opportunity. When I say we, you and Dr. Hank, you told me, it's not just me, it was God and I.
Yeah.
We gave her this opportunity to use her talents to have this opportunity to get the job. So, I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted driving between trucks and everything else. Anyway, so now I've lost my train of thought again. Doggone it. What was I saying? I was just on to something.
You were on to something, but that you and God created, and this is true for all of us, that it's not just us, just not me, okay? It's us, and it's God and I, that I do the asking, and then God has the power and the ability to get us every and anything that we want, to include Mike with helping Mia, sending positive energy to Mia, and sending this divine energy to others. See, we have the power to impact other people's lives. Most of us worry about our children. Well, you're sending worry to your children, and then they become worriers like you are. And it's like, I'm just not going to do that anymore. It's this committee that is absolutely insane, that it makes us. I have somebody that their parents disowned them because they didn't like the behavior, and their behavior was just fine. Most of the people love their behavior, but it's like, why would you disown your own child? And it's just this committee, and then we get mad at people because really the bottom line is we just didn't like their behavior. So let's lighten up. Let's allow people to be who they are. And then let's pray for ourselves and for others on what we do want. And so with that, Mike, did you want to say anything else? That I know you're just, you're driving there and we want you to be safe, but any other thoughts?
No, I can't think of, I can't get back on the train of thought. I had so many when, was it Joey was talking initially?
Yeah.
I don't have a pen and paper, so I can't write it down.
Yeah.
And that's my brain. Yeah, that's my brain. I apologize. I don't write it down. It's lost.
Mike, it's all good. And that's why we have it recorded. And so we'll have that. And does anybody else have some good news to share with us?
Well, Dr. Hank,
yes.
So I just want to clarify with Joey, because I appreciated what Joey said. So what allowed you to break through was you didn't really overthink it, right?
Really, Robin, I just stopped thinking. I stopped thinking. And I started asking, I literally sat on my couch for 4.5 hours one day going, I'm not freaking moving until I get an inspired action to move. And as I did that and I meditated a little bit and I sat there and I actually fell asleep for a little while. But then all of a sudden I had this thought that was like, hey, well, I'm going to do this. Like, I want to do this. And that's how it comes about. It comes about as something I want, not what I'm going to do. That's my key. That's like an indicator for me that it's coming from the Antichrist. And the reason I call it that is I can't be connected with God and living through self at the same time. It can only be one or the other. So when I have to disconnect from here to live here, or I've disconnected from here to go back up here.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, that's
so good. Thank you, Joey. Thank you, Mike. Well, I'll just share something. Like last week, I had one day I received money from 3 different sources. Mm-hmm. And so I just took a moment that day and I said, wow, that's incredible. I love receiving this money. Thank you. I want more. But it was such a wonderful feeling because it was from my thoughts that I had that experience. It all started in my thoughts. Yeah. So it was just really fun to see that. It really was.
Congratulations. Yeah, it feels good. And if it feels good, we communicate with God through our emotions. I just shared, our thoughts create energy, that emotion goes to God. God communicates to us. And why Robin was saying it feels good, that's God saying you're on your lighted path. By Joey saying, until I'm inspired, which means in spirit, okay, leading with heart, that's what I'm going to move. I'm done doing because I get do. And I'm not getting do anymore in my life. I'm done doing that. I'm going to put my whole heart, all of my belief in God and this higher power that when I ask for something, that God will deliver it. And I'm going to allow that in. And I'm going to lead with heart.
Yeah, I don't mean to be like a know-it-all, but as you're talking, more of this stuff is coming up, and you've kind of helped me to identify a lot of it too, Dr. Hank, and working together one-on-one. So but it seems like what I'm realizing is I don't have to go out to find the inspired action. The only effort that I have to apply is to get out of the self-motion. Like, for instance, I've been working with this guy, and Dr. Hank knows it and stuff, and I've been traveling and going to these areas because we were supposed to do consulting, and it's kind of turned into me going back into sales, really. And I really couldn't stand doing it, but I kept going and going and going because I said, I need the money, right? I need that money, so I'm going to keep, and that's my whole life is I'll live miserable doing something I can't stand because of the whole thing of money and stuff, And so we were talking about it. I said, I really don't want to do this. He goes, and don't. And I've since stopped doing that. And what I'm realizing is so often when I have a choice to rely on God and my angels and the spirit and all that, or to put my effort forth, hopefully to make something happen, I have chosen the effort path because it'll bring about something, where the other way is just standing and kind of like it's faith, right? It's like I just did a sermon on this. It's faith. I could say I have all kinds of faith and I believe in God with all my heart and soul and everything else. But look at my foot. Look at my feet movements. Are they moving? Am I moving in faith? And I don't have to get those inspired actions. I just have to stop these actions coming from here. It seems like that's the only effort I have to put into it. And as I do that, the other side starts opening up. And now I'm a little nervous. But I have an opening to allow the universe to show me the actions to get me there rather than coming from here and coming up with activities. And I had something happen a few months ago, and I'm just now starting to understand it, where it was like I heard this voice say to me, man, you've given it everything. You've given it your heart and your soul and everything you have. Now give it to me. Trust me with it. Let me show you how to do this. And that's been such a really hard hurdle for me to get over that and truly handing it over and truly getting into that allowing state, because I can't do both. So that, I don't know if that helps or not, but
Beautiful.
That's a hard one. Thanks.
Yeah. And just to make sure everybody's clear that when Joey says not using this, that's the committee, our smaller self. Now, there's your higher power, though. And when you lead with heart, that then you'll tap into, you'll feel good, you'll raise your vibration, you'll be at one with God, and then you'll have inspired thoughts as well as inspired actions. And the only thing you need to monitor is how you feel. And so as long as I'm feeling good, I move forward. And so for everybody too, and in fact, some of you that aren't doing this, that we have the Joy Shop. And so you should text me, email me this Joy Shop. It's in the morning to really discipline. And thousands of people all over the world use this to tremendous success. And to be able to start really thinking about, this contrast, these things that I don't like that have happened in my life, what is it birth? And I'm going to go there now, because that's where God is. Where God's vibration is, where God's love is also where all your desires are. Because those are so important. They literally put the eternity into all of us by having these desires that you have. And so that, Joey, thank you so much for, really, describing that and understanding that, and this idea about leading with heart. Anybody else have other comments or questions about that?
Yeah, when you lead with heart, you start understanding what the contrast is, right? I am in a rental car. Here I am. Last week, I didn't tell you this, Dr. Hank, but my car broke down. I own a lot of cars. I've never had one really break down. And yet, last Friday, my fuel pump went out on my car, and I got to drive to Charlotte to move my. Well, what happens? I looked at it. It was crazy that I had this when I got the news, like, you've got a fuel pump that needs replacing. How much is that going to cost? Oh my God. Okay, $1,000. Well, it's $1,350 is what it's going to cost me. I didn't care. Okay.
Yeah.
There's other opportunities here. I got to figure out, how am I going to get my daughter down to South Carolina? How am I going to Charlotte and stuff? What am I going to do? I'm going to rent a car. It doesn't matter. Normally I would be freaking out and so depressed and so everything. The world's coming to an end. Yeah. I just looked at it like another little obstacle. We're going to get through it, and I'm happy. We can do this. It's a totally different mindset and way to attack life. And I don't want to say attack life, be a part of life. Yeah. That we can work with and be a part of. Yeah. It's just the contrast. This is not what I want. No. That's what I want. And here I am driving down the road in a car that actually I may buy one day. Right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I like it. It's comfortable. The seat is very comfortable. I'm enjoying this drive.
Yeah. So those things that are put in our path, everything is a blessing. But our committee will take it And what Mike has done, instead of what most people would do is, oh, this is awful, it's a disaster, you know, and blah, 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 and go through all this drama. Instead, Mike is happy. And he goes, cool. And one of the helpful ways of doing this is to look for the wanted in everything that happens. So now Mike is driving down the road. He doesn't have to do the wear and tear on his car. He is enjoying the ride, maybe more comfortable than this current ride. I mean, there are so many good things that come out of this. The other day, Jenny broke a vase from Egypt, real expensive vase from Egypt. She was going, oh, this is awful. And I go, this is awesome. And she looks at me and she goes, well, you know, enough. And she goes, okay, why? And I said, well, it's more to want. You know, it's this wanting. People that retire, most of them 6 months afterwards die. Why? No more wanting. And the contrast brings this. And so if we will just love everything that is in our path, then you will see the heavens will open up and bring it to you just like they have for Mike in business and relationships and helping people, other people's health, son. I mean, just all kinds of things will happen and your cup will overflow. But we're back to, you got to have faith. Don't try to figure it out. Not your job. Your job is not the how. Just what you want and why you want it. Who, when, where? God's job. God does the how. But you have to believe. And so, comments, thoughts? You know, I want to share, I had sent you guys an email and our spiritual family, and it's called Heart to Heart. And it says, no more secrets, come as you are. There are no secrets, and eventually everybody finds out anyways. Okay, so just, we don't have to have secrets. We all have the same basic type of desires and whatever. And then it says, all fits just right, heart to heart. And when you start just leading with heart, and instead of leading from your committee with your smaller self and this analytical comparing mind, and just give it up, the battle is over, folks. The battle is over. It goes on. No tradition, nothing by the book. Tradition, it's all your old beliefs. You know, don't talk to strangers. You got to work hard to get where you want. You can't change other people. They're not true. And it's not anything against the people that taught us that. They just didn't know any better. We know better now. And nothing by the book. That you create your own book. You have your own communication system that is guiding you every moment of every day. And that communication system is guided through your emotions. And it says all you need is to show up heart to heart. No more pretending. Just walk in. We don't have to put on a fake smile and try to be nice and try to be this way. You know, we were talking earlier about get rid of the shoulds. You know, I should do this. Get rid of the have tos, you know. Get rid of all that. You don't have to do it anymore. Just have to believe in God. Know that when you ask for things and just be thinking about what you want. And again, with the Joy Shot, it's so important in the morning. So it literally will improve your thinking. And then it says, everything is all right, heart to heart. Oh, isn't that beautiful? And I'm going to send you this. I retyped it up. No more worries. Everything will be all right. Don't be scared. Everything will be all right. What's to lose? For there is everything to gain. Come with heart to heart. Everything will be all right. Do you believe it? Yes. Say yes. Amen. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, based on the time. And again, I'm going to send you that heart to heart. And all this is just channeled. I mean, it just comes to me on that. Oh, here's something for, I literally, I'm just on my phone and the notes, and I just start writing this, and it just, streams right in. Next thing I know, I have these amazing thoughts to inspire us all, because we can be, do, and have everything that we want. And another thing to do that will be helpful, and I suggest you write it down, not you, Mike, everybody else, but to soften your heart. Let's soften our hearts. Say yes to you. Show up. You show up with heart. I've shared with you that out of this, we've had amazing things come out of our spiritual family here in Master Heart family, that we've had babies born now, and really things, Deborah wasn't supposed to get pregnant and couldn't get pregnant, whatever. I mean, we've just plowed down all of these untruths, and we just said, look, we're just going to rise above all of this, and we're going to do it the way that we want to do it. And we're just going to simply ask, we're going to allow the Father to do the work. And so out of this also came a children's book that we are currently in. It was Dua's idea, who's in Palestine right now, that it was Dua's thought about for me to write a child's book, a kid's book, because she didn't like the books that kids are reading. They're having nightmares all over it because they, put a bunch of horrible things in it. And so this book is Journey to Paradise. And it's with Mr. Happy, and Mr. Happy invites the children in, introduces the children to our 7 archangels, that for the kids, we just call them angels. And then the thought comes to me, we have a spiritual team member who's an artist, a famous artist out in California, Mia Davis. And so I asked Mia, would you like to do a kid's book? And she says, oh my God, since I've been a little girl, I wanted to paint the pictures for a kid's book. And so her dreams are coming true. It's just getting better and better for all of us. Robin just won a trip last week, an all expense paid trip that, just amazing things are happening for us and with us. And so in that book, we do a journey to paradise in a couple different ways. And so the first one is God's Garden. And last week we went to God's Garden. And I would recommend that all of you, if you haven't already, listen to that. And listen, like people say, why should I listen to it so many times? Well, it's kind of like, why do we take showers every day? Why do we eat every day? We need to feed our minds. And when we feed our minds and go to God's Garden, there's no better place to feed it. And so today, though, we're going to go to the staircase down to paradise. And so I want us all to relax. Again, Mike, or anybody else, if you're driving, do not close your eyes. Pay attention to the road. Everybody else, I'd like you to just relax. The meek inherit the earth. Those meek are the ones that, like Joey was saying, where you just allow and wait for the answers, wait for the solution, wait for the inspiration. And this is why the meek inherit the earth. And so we have inherited the earth now, and let's go to paradise. So I recommend you close your eyes. It's easier to go within. Within is the kingdom within you. And so your inner being, God, if you will, the kingdom within you. And the most powerful and easiest way to connect with our higher power, with our inner being, with God and all that is through our breath. And so a deep breath in now, 5 seconds in, breathing in God's love. And hold it and then release. And just let your air out. Yeah, release anything unwanted. Release the day, release this world. And breathe in. And breathe out. And again, just release, relax. Start at the top of your head now as you begin to get very comfortable. Start at the crown, the top of your head, and open up your crown. Allow God's love and that white loving energy to flow down into you now, into your mind, and illumine your mind with golden light. Just become relaxed. Relax your eyes as you're breathing in deeply. And relax your jaw. You know, our mind, our body, and our spirit are all interconnected. And as you relax your body, you're going to allow Father to do the work. And step 4 for your dreams to come true. Just relax your neck now. Relax your chest. Now take your beautiful heart, relax your heart. Remove the guards from your heart. Take off any remaining chains and locks from your heart. And open up your heart wide. There's nothing to be guarded. Nothing to fear. Everything to look forward to now as we come with open, beautiful hearts. We will now relax and relax our hips, our legs, going all the way down, just taking that loving energy of you and throwing it down out your feet in the Mother Earth, and just have those roots sink deep in the Mother Earth, where you become a magnet now to everything that you want. The magnetism from Mother Earth now flows back up your feet, back up your body, into your feelings, your emotions, your mind. You are now a magnet. Breathe in deeply and do that cleansing breath, the cleansing breath that makes you pure and whole again. And just imagine you're standing, all of us are standing now at the top of a beautiful white spiral staircase. And let's begin to walk down together, laughing, smiling, their hearts so open to life and each other, to love, happiness, and prosperity, as we just walk down our spiral staircase, going down deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, staircase, and we step into the lovely grass. It feels so good on our feet. We just love it, and we look out into our soul, into this beautiful field of flowers. It feels so fresh, so clean. We just love the breeze, the spring breeze, God's breath, just touching our cheeks now, feeling so divine, so at one. Our inner being, with God, our angels, and all that is. It's a beautiful light. It looks like the sun, but it's God's almighty light shining into you now, cleansing your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotions. Just start filled with the divine now. Your love and who you really are in this field, skipping along, feeling so happy and smiling and whispering, whistling and just giggling, just enjoying ourselves, in joy with God and each other, feeling so happy. God's light shining on us, the beautiful, beautiful flowers and the smell of springtime. And we look up to our left, and there's this beautiful waterfall, and it's just glistening with God's light. And as it falls down into this love pond of water, that we see the beautiful rainbow coming out of this water. And it's the color of our angels. Our archangels are here with us. And we just love this. We're so eager to get into this pond of love. And we walk in and it feels so warm and good and refreshing on our feet. God's love is in this water that's going into every pore of our body now as we walk deeper and deeper into the water, and we look up at the waterfall, and this rainbow now begins to just glide into our essence, into our bodies, into our minds, and we feel the blue, loving blue energy of Archangel Michael to manifest. We feel Raphael, that beautiful emerald green just flowing in to us and all around us in the water now. And it's just, we see the white color of Gabriel and the pink of Archangel Chamuel, whose unconditional love. Oh, feels so good. And the golden light of Jophiel, as we expand our imagination, we illuminate our minds now. We just see the whiteness in our minds, the beauty, the love in our hearts. We feel so good. And now the beautiful rainbow of red flows in, and the red of Uriel, and the beautiful wisdom. And we love having wisdom to all of our desires. The wisdom now to allow, to release our fears, and to allow, to believe, and to expect that everything that we have asked for, all the divine desires and dreams that are now flowing into our experience, into our life now. And finally, the beautiful violet light of Zadkiel. Zadkiel is of compassion and kindness, and we are now filled with compassion and kindness as we feel the love of God. God's loving archangels flowing into us, this rainbow. As we walk out of the water, we are rainbows. We are divine. These beautiful colors, masterpiece colors that are within us now. We now have our kingdom. And our kingdom prospers, our kingdom being our life, now prospers and is abundant, filled with love, joy, filled with business, service, and all the loving things that God gives us, to include all of nature, the beautiful sky, grass, and we look out into our soul now and see the beauty of God, and we are in one beauty and essence of all that is. Feel now the love of God. Hear the bells ringing. It's the angels are playing their harp and they're singing in this moment of pure oneness with God and all that is. Hallelujah. We walk back up to this beautiful spiral staircase, feeling better than we've ever felt, knowing that we now are the co-creator with God of our divine lives. And we now call for our desires to be realized. As we together walk up the spiral staircase, we're just gliding up. There is no more effort. There is no more doing. There is no more work. It's just play. It's fun. It's gliding. It's flying. We fly up this beautiful spiral staircase, this beautiful white door. And it's the doorway of life. And we now open up this door. And this light that is filled with everything that we want, where we see everything, the wanted in everything. We see the love, the beauty, and how everything is playing out perfectly for us and all the world. Breathe in deeply. And breathe out. And I invite you now to come back into the room. Come back into your chairs. Feeling so good, so content, so satisfied, so lovingly powerful now. Now open up your eyes and welcome this beautiful world. Yes. How you feeling? I feel good, like I knew that I would. And so, Joey, did you say you wanted to? Well, before we go there, I know you want to lead us in singing, Joey. But anybody want to share your experience and how you felt?
Relaxed.
Yeah.
That's all you need to get everything you want. The meek inherit the earth. It's the relax, the ease, the faith that everything's being taken care of now. Isn't that beautiful? The battle's over. We can love each other, love life, and most of all, love ourselves. So our little sing-along. We've invited our hearts in.
We've invited our hearts in.
Now it's time for our dreams to begin. Now
it's time for our dreams to begin.
We love our Master Heart family. We love our
Master Heart family.
As we now walk together merrily. As
we walk together merrily.
We are now leading with heart.
We are now leading with heart.
And this is how to live life smart. And this
is how to live life smart.
Sound off our Master Heart family.
Sound
off our Master Heart
family.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Well, that was fantastic, everybody. That come to me as children. That just let's act like kids. Let's have fun. Let's dance a little, sing a little, just enjoy. Such a marvelous life, and we can call it the way that we want it. Any other thoughts before we leave? All right, everybody. Love you. Thank you so much for your input and for coming together. That you're going to have the most spectacular week now. Enjoy. Let me know I can help, and know that everything you want is coming your way. Bye-bye.